Welcome back. My name is Kit.
My name is Madison.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, streaming The Boys.
Oh my goodness, it's the boys again?
The boys are back in town.
Oh, Thin Lizzy. As I live and breathe.
As I live and breathe, Mr. Lizzie. You're so thin.
My goodness.
This is episode 7, The Jabberwork. That was a big fuck you to all of you guys. It's called The Insider. I don't think they could have possibly messed it up this time. Didn't expect more puppets. I don't know how many times they can bring puppets into the show, but
right.
I feel like you should be more excited.
I'm just saying, it sounds like you're a little bit disappointed that there are more puppets.
Of the three of us, I am the least fond of puppets, I think.
And the most
funny for you to assume.
And also the one who has the most Neanderthal in their ancestry.com.
It's not, you're not wrong based on where I'm from. I just PTSD from growing up with Jeff Dunham, I think. You know?
Oh, I blocked that part. That part of my life is just blocked out.
Why is there trauma there?
I once watched a Jeff Dunham comedy special while on
with jalapeno
acid,
and iced tea. Oh,
which didn't make it any funnier or less racist, but did just scar me for life.
Oh, okay.
Does that guy still get work?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen a new special from him in a while.
I think he gets less work than Louis C.K., but I'm not sure.
Oh,
I just remember him like getting divorced. Like I remember I was kind of weirdly involved in his life for a second, and then I wasn't.
Like literally?
How are you involved in his life?
No, just like I remember seeing like stuff about his life. Like, okay. He's getting divorced.
I think you were just researching?
Like, it just was like stumbling upon me for some reason. My voice. But
you got choked up thinking about old Jeffy. I miss him. I remember when he got divorced.
No, that would have been.
I didn't know
like
him. I was friends with the
grade.
puppets, and he was just around.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's still touring. He'll be in Lexington on October 19th.
I love how we just went on a Jeff Dunham rant.
No,
it was the puppets.
It was the puppets made us do it.
That's what I'm telling you.
Which also, I didn't even make this connection, and maybe this is a stretch, but like I was like, why did they do Christmas? Like a Christmas special, but then I was just like, oh, they're doing Christmas in July. Like, because this episode will be dropped in, July.
Yeah, it is July. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's kind of how I interpreted it. Because I was like...
No, well, chronologically, it's because it's in between the election of Singer and Newman to Singer Newman getting...
That's another reason.
Secondary.
But I like to think that they were like, you know what would be cool?
Let's be festive.
Let's be festive
in July.
Do Christmas in July.
The whole Christmas thing did take me aback.
I love your pure of heart interpretation of this.
Yeah, it's just a different lens
that makes me
on
feel
the situation.
So much better.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
Exactly.
No. Different perspective. Death of the author.
Literally.
You guys want to go to Christmas Town? Isn't that like in Indiana?
Christmas Town?
It's just a short drive away.
I think it's Santa Claus, Indiana. No.
Yeah. I think you're right.
I've never answered in the affirmative to, would you like to go to Indiana?
That's honestly fair.
But anyway, we've been watching The Boys. We're on episode 7. There's only one episode left as you're listening to this. So next Friday will be the finale, episode 8. But that's not today. Today is the penultimate episode. If you've never listened to the show before, we talk about puppets a decent amount, but not a ton, I would say.
Not enough, I would say.
What we're going to do is talk about our overall thoughts on episode 7 and then do the deep dive, followed up by our favorite moments, which we call our diabolical moments. And then Compound VIP, our nominations for our favorite performance of the episode. We'll wrap it all up. And I do want to say you can email the show at streamingthingspod@gmail.com at any time for your thoughts on The Boys and what's going on. And you can also go to patreon.com/streamingthings. Steve, I checked today.
What?
The poll for July has taken a turn.
What? A turn?
Somehow Logan has drifted into third place.
Third?
I know. I think somebody switched their votes, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Last time I looked, they were all at 31%.
Yeah, that's the last time I looked.
With Sin City, like, wasting some votes. Like, they were just like some...
Maybe all the Sin City people are taking their votes away. Like, let's get off the sinking ship. Let's invest in something that's going to win.
I mean, Sin City's like a Green Party down there, you know? But yeah, it's V for Vendetta and... Watchmen tied at 31 still.
Wow.
But Logan's back at 30. That's what I was getting at. You could vote on that poll. You could also listen to all of our Game of Thrones season 1 coverage as we head towards season 2. all kinds of good stuff. So you could check that out. Do that if you want. If you want. We don't want you to hurt yourselves financially. So
take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And humanitarian projects, all that stuff comes before streaming things. But if you got a little extra in the couch, and you want some extra content,
go couch diving.
Yeah.
Some street money. Work in the corner money.
Whoa. Do not.
I'm trying.
Madison's going a different approach.
We're not.
Sell your body for streaming things.
Oh, can't afford the Patreon? How about a little Hawk 2 on the side?
Just trying to cater to all audiences.
Sure. Somebody out there.
That's
honestly,
what I would do.
I think that's how Ricker became a member.
Yeah.
He's always sleeveless for a reason.
Just makes it more aerodynamic.
Right. Well, he's showing the skin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's showing more skin.
I was thinking more practically, like I don't want sleeves to get in the way of my double handy. That's a case of overthinking, I think.
Maybe, just a little bit.
You think overthinking?
Yeah, overthinking. Anywho, let's delve into our thoughts on episode 7, The Insider. Madison, what'd you think? What was it like?
I have to say, this may be an unpopular opinion, but I was not super impressed with this episode. Again, I feel like overall the season has been kind of meh. Like there's been some episodes where I'm like, okay, this was good. Like, but it was almost like this is just okay. But because I feel like we haven't, I don't know, the episodes that are just okay to me have been like, oh, these are great because it just hasn't been that great this season. This one I was was just kind of very disappointed in. For it to be the second to last episode of the finale of the season, I just am kind of like, I don't know. I don't feel that jazzed to go to the finale. And also there were quite a few unsatisfactory things that happened with some of our characters. Like I was really upset with how they reintroduced Frenchie back into the boys. I feel like, they could have really done something with a little bit more depth. They could have really, I don't know. I just feel like how he was brought back into the boys was just kind of a cop-out. Like you made him go to jail for what? And then is the Colin thread just completely done, dead? I think that's so interesting and weird that they brought that up at the beginning and then now hasn't been revisited. And then the whole back and forth with Butcher and Mother's Milk has been kind of exhausting to watch, just the transition of them being leaders of the boys. So that's to say a few things. I don't like shitting on the show because I really do like these characters and I've really enjoyed the show up until this point, but I feel like this episode for me is just kind of okay, now we're at a downward spiral for me. But that's not to say I didn't enjoy some of the scenes. I really liked Hughie and Newman having a moment. I really liked the shapeshifter that they experienced, that whole action sequence, and then the twist at the end was really cool. I just wish the stakes of those scenes were felt throughout, and I feel like there just were too many duds of scenes of plot points that overshadowed all of the cool stuff. So that's kind of my overall thoughts. I guess this episode is okay, but I feel like where it's placed in season 4, I was expecting a lot more from the episode. So that's my overall thought.
Steve.
I agree with Madison wholeheartedly. I don't think I hated the episode or anything. I was just kind of okay. We're getting there. I think the shapeshifter thing, the addition of a shapeshifter is really cool. I love that idea. I like how they show a shapeshifter in this world as this grotesque being that just rips its skin off to change into another person. I think that fits in within the boys. And I also like the stakes it creates where, how do we stop an assassin that can look like anybody? But then by the end of the episode, it has a fun little wrinkle now we're getting into the end. I like where that's going. That being said, literally almost everything else about the episode is kind of either meh to kind of really dumb. One of my biggest complaints about the episode is they introduce conflict several times throughout the season and then immediately just actually, nah. With Frenchie's in jail. We got him out. Or we kicked Butcher out of the team. Actually, we brought him back in. Sorry, guys, it's on me. Hey, actually, he should lead now again, too. What? There's just so much. These are good interesting conflicts that you're introducing, but you're not following through with any of it. So none of it hits. It all feels a little hollow and not as good, which is unfortunate because I like the idea of a lot of these conflicts and they just don't follow through with any of it. And even, gosh, like it was a scene that I think they really wanted you to like feel bad and like cry in. It was like when Ambrosius dies and I felt nothing.
Yeah.
And it was compared that to like Timothy when Timothy got eaten in the previous season, like very similar. Here's an octopus friend of the deep and dying a horrible death. And this one's voice, like this one is like an actual character that we like hear its voice. We know its thoughts. We know its motivations, but when it dies, it's like played for laughs. It's not as funny. And then now the deep is like, I know what I have to do now. And I'm like, do you? What do you have to do now? I don't really understand what you're doing. What exactly changed within you that is making you act how you are now? Is it just because you're sad that your octopus friend is dead? I don't know. It's interesting. I do like how Ryan, you know, with the puppet thing. I love a puppet. You know me, Kit. You know me.
Yeah, everybody knows.
I love a puppet. So I love the puppets, and I do like how at the end Ryan sort of is like, "Hey, this isn't cool," and then Butcher's like, "That's why I believe in this kid," because I know that they're close and they have that relationship, but I wanted to see a little bit more of like why Butcher is putting his faith in the boy, other than just like, Becca liked him, and now like he has agency and he's saying, "I believe in the kid specifically, not just because he's kind of my son in a weird way, but not really." So that was good. But overall, it was just kind of a very uneven episode. And it's a little concerning that it's the penultimate episode leading into the finale next week. But we'll see if they actually stick the landing or if it completely falls off the rails. Kit?
I've been the most negative would be the best way to say that on this season, I think, of the three of us throughout.
Most critical.
Yeah. And it's nothing's changed about this episode. I had a couple more tear jerky moments though. So some of the stuff I think works better than most of the rest of the season in this episode, but also there's some of the most egregious things that have been going on this season are at full effect in this episode as well, if that makes any sense. So there's real highs and lows in this episode in particular. I guess the finale is going to be the January 6th insurrection.
Never heard of it.
This show has always been highly critical of, I think, the right specifically, but, you know, just a lot of silly things that go on in our world. And they've never been subtle, but I do think they're a little too on the nose this season. Like, you know, it's not deftly done at all. And this kind of like the January 6th stuff, it was just like, oh, okay. You know,
You
like
could have said like January 5th.
yeah. I mean, even that I would have thought that was a little funnier. I mean, I think they're trapped on that date for a reason. So yeah, I agree with you guys. This whole season feels like a detour. And I've said it many times. Like, we're on the road, we were cooking, and now we stopped to look at the world's biggest rubber band ball.
That's a fun time.
Some people are into
Santa
that.
Claus, Indiana.
Yeah, we're in Santa Claus, Indiana. And God damn it, I want out as far as this show goes. But there's like, I really love what's going on with A-Train.
Yeah.
I do like the MM being brought a little more into the forefront. I hate what they're, like you said, all of the conflicts, quote unquote, that they set up, they're just yada-yadaing away.
Yeah.
I think they're at real danger of doing irreparable damage to the character of Starlight. I'm weary of Firecracker. God love her, the actor's great, but you know, like the whole, let's move on kind of thing, you know? But there was some funny stuff, some really good heartfelt stuff. And I guess we'll get into it. But yeah, all in all, I don't think it's any lower or higher than any of the other episodes for me. I'm just treading water at this point, just praying for a great season 5.
That's fair.
Because I do love this show. Huge fan of the first 3 seasons and Gen V. So this is the first time I've ever felt kind of let down by this show. And it's a little silly. Like this is what it feels like to read the comics. It's not quite as shocking and there's far less nudity, but it's like, this is kind of what it felt like to read the comics. Like, what? You know, you're just trying to think of the weirdest shit you can think of and involve superheroes in that and put it on the page for us to giggle at in a kind of a middle school humor kind of way. And the show never was that. It was like, what if we took that idea and actually brought real characters and a real plot into it? And everybody was like, oh shit, this is amazing. But season 4 kind of feels like that. Just like, oh, he's farting webs. He can't stop. It's diarrhea. I'm like, I'm so exhausted by this scene. I don't even know this guy, first off. By the way, I have to apologize.
I don't even know you.
And confess. Nobody expects much intellect from me, but I have to admit, if you were like, I don't know if Kit's putting 2 and 2 together on this super obvious low-hanging fruit joke, I want to be honest, I wasn't. That his safe word was Zendaya because of Spider-Man and the fact that she plays MJ.
Oh, shit.
I just thought it was... Did you not get it either?
No, I didn't get that either.
Yeah, we're all dumb.
I don't think that's an immediate segue to believe that because...
He was a very obvious Spider-Man.
I know,
we
but
all knew, we said that.
I know, but I guess...
Zendaya
also is just, you can't just associate Zendaya with Spider-Man.
Don't
She's
put
an
Zendaya
entire
in a box.
entity of a person.
That's
like
fair.
my safe word's Zendaya. What the fuck?
Zendaya
nothing to do with
contains
Spider-Man.
multitudes, okay?
Exactly.
That's true. I was thinking, what does Challengers have to do with this?
You know, because I've...
Is that canon? Is that really why it's
It
Zendaya?
has to be.
Okay,
it literally has to be.
Better they just love Dune.
Why would Web Weaver say Zendaya? It's fair.
As you bring up the comic books, and I don't think we've talked about this, but like knowing where the comic books go, like clearly this whole season seems to be like they're setting up a big, I mean, not in the same way at all, but they're setting up a similar plot thread that's in the comic book that has a very specific leaning towards it. And now that we're at the 7th episode of this season, I can see like, oh, they just want to get to that basic storyline. And this is just the transition to that. And so it's kind of like, oh, this is just a transitional season where nothing's really, I don't know. And then that's why, like, at the end of this episode, I was kind of like, oh, this is all they're doing. That's kind of a bummer. But they're using real world, like January 6th and stuff like that to sort of like prop it up. At the same time, I was like, meh.
Yeah. But I promise we'll make this talk fun, even though none of us are really...
They're puppets.
Loving it. There are puppets. But let's get into it. Let's get into the deep dive. A lot of the deep in this episode as well. And my first note is not the goddamn puppets again. And Steve's note is probably the opposite. Yes, puppets. Yeah. Starting off, it's only down from here. That's Steve's first note.
Like clearly, this will be the best episode ever.
And there's some like it's a kids show, and the songs are about Antifa.
Yeah, it's like Sesame Street. I did laugh real hard when Ryan is looking at the A-Train pup and he's like, what's wrong, A-Train? He's like, oh, I don't know. Antifa.
It's funnier when you do it.
I wasn't expecting that. Antifa. So it did get me.
What do they look like? They could be anybody.
They could even
your dad.
Your dad.
Anyone.
Yeah,
when you see something,
say something. And that's like something about the woke principal and his boyfriend Chad. Yeah. And that's when Ryan's like, I don't like this. So he stands up, stops it because it's live, and they cut the commercial.
This is the rehearsal, isn't it?
Probably.
I think it's the rehearsal.
I think this is the rehearsal. But this is a poor production because Ryan, as the star of the show, should at least have had access to a script and known that there was a musical number coming up, right?
Maybe they only gave him sides. And that's how little they respect him, Like Homelander's like, he said he'll do it.
He's my son.
Just sit there.
Of course he
Shocked he doesn't
Antifa.
have a teleprompter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Ryan's not happy about how this show's developing, right? We cut to the main headquarters of the Seven, and Sage storms in. They had started the meeting without her due to Firecracker's new influence, right? I thought the meeting was 11. Now we started a little earlier. And they're in the middle of like pitching Homelander NFTs, it looks like. Mm-hmm. And then they kick Ashley out. Like, Ashley, what the fuck are you still doing in here, right? Because they don't respect her at all. And Homelander is very mad about the leak and how they killed the wrong person. He found the bugs that were put in Tech Knight's house. And he's mad at Sage, right? Like, you haven't found the leak. You get shot in the head. You say dumb shit. I don't know what's going on right now. You're really letting me down right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, who cares about Coleman? He was an innocent man, but it's not a big deal. But they lost $50 million in donations due to Coleman's death.
Not only $50 million in donations, but $50 million in pillow money from Mike Lindell, sir.
That is...
The My Pillow guy.
Is that okay. I thought it was.
They're just throwing out all the right-wing jokes in this episode.
That's what I'm saying.
This is like minute 3, and they've already like done the whole Antifa song. They did a Trump NFT joke right off the bat, and now they're throwing the Mike Lindell pillow money.
Yeah. You got the libs rolling their eyes, Kripke.
Like you can only it's like you can only hit the same well so many times per minute before it starts to be like, okay, I too know Mike Lindell. You
beat the dead horse so many times, it's neighing again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, Firecracker pops off at Sage. Like, I don't hear no respect on this great man. So then they're talking about the shooter on the 6th. And I put like an eye rolly LOL in there. But A-Train was listening to all of this. He's getting stressed about them looking for the leak, which is in fact him, as we all know. We cut to the Deep, who's reading to Ambrosius. They're having a romantic time.
Still waters run deep.
One thing I don't understand about the bit that happens later
Yes.
is that she's sitting outside of her
She's
tank.
out of
Literally.
water.
Yeah.
Seemingly unless that's a really short book.
Well, it could be like
It could be because it's his book.
Yeah.
So it could be really short.
But even
Yeah.
then, like she immediately can't breathe later.
She's
Yeah.
like, help, Captain.
I disagree that you're supposed to care, though. That is 1000% a slapstick gag that happens later.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel like,
when
you
Will
should-
Ferrell is in the pit in Austin Powers. I'm still alive, but I'm badly burned.
It's the prolonged breathing or like gasping for air.
Yeah,
Like,
he keeps thinking she's dead. It's like a
and
Monty
she's-
Python
and she's
bit.
like,
Yeah. No, I agree. It is played for laugh, but I feel like it shouldn't be. Like Timothy
should be a
was
diabolical
like
thing.
one of the top 5 like most awful, heart wrenching things that has happened in the show. Like I felt so bad for that nameless little octopus.
yeah.
Now we got a named one.
But then I fucking love Ambrosius, and she just like I decided I can't breathe now.
She creeps me out. I'll be honest.
Unless he's been outside that closet for like 5 hours and we just saw like 30 seconds of it.
Like, why would he even? We'll get to it. That was one of the most out of left field, wild character turns I've ever seen. We'll
Yeah.
get to it soon, though. But yeah, he's reading to her, and he gets a text from Sage. Go ahead.
Kid, actually, before you read what the text is, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you want to stab my brain and stab my ass later?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right.
100%.
Madison, you know your way out.
I'll see myself out.
We've all been there. You get that kind of text, you know? Tough day. Stab my brain, stab my ass later.
You up?
It's the you up of
up?
the boys universe. Exactly. He gets super hyped about it. Changes his plans with Ambrosius, right? Tells her, I'm going to go read the Honey Boy 2 script with Shia. It's actually looking better.
He still has that queen in a dirty ass tank.
In the closet.
Yeah, in the closet.
It's again, nothing subtle about this season. She's literally in the closet.
Yeah.
We cut to Starlight, who is on a Zoom call with her mom. She wants her mom to leave, get out of town. They're all trying to get rid of their families because the insurrection is about to happen, and they're well aware of it, right? No matter if they win or lose, shit's about to get really weird. They're trying to protect their family. But her mom's just like giving her shit about the abortion.
I was kicked out of Tuesday Bible group.
Did you know that?
Did you know that? It's
Not
all
because of me,
you.
Mom.
Suck it up.
And Hughie had saved her Starlight suit, and Annie didn't know that. She's upset about that. And he said, "Hey, I just thought you might regret it later. I just was keeping it just in case." And she's talking about the abortion, saying, "I didn't want to bring a baby into a world that's ending." We've all felt that way.
It's a good enough reason.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Have you ever, like, has a loved one ever wanted to throw something away, but you saved it for them because you were like, I think they'll regret throwing that away later. Let me hold on to it.
No.
Okay.
Have you?
I have.
I'm not sentimental with objects at
I'm
all.
a thrower
Well,
away.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
I
that
left an entire apartment once.
the thing that I saved was an unread letter from a dead relative that was much loved.
Okay, that's
Yes.
different.
Toss it.
That's different.
I still have it too.
Like,
Is there a relative?
It's yeah.
Did you read it?
Well, it was addressed to me as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
did you read
I
it?
pictured you like with like the teapot and the steam, like, ooh, tea. Oh my God. Anywhoozle.
He's not my father.
You really need to read this.
I have a terrible secret.
And we cut to A-Train, who sees Sage talking to the quote unquote Lee Harvey, like the projected shooter. So we're getting the idea they're going to try to assassinate the president-elect and put
Newman.
Vicky
Hello,
Newman,
Vicky
Newman.
Vicky New in charge, right? That's the plan. So,
But their guy, the shooter, smells like he's been drinking.
and she's presumably, did you guys catch on to all of this ahead of time? Like, obviously Sage is the smartest person in the world. I at no point thought that she didn't know A-Train was watching her and that
Yeah.
was like really her plan to.
She's doing a performance.
She's doing a thing. Yeah. We cut to Hughie and MM discussing the assassination, the Lee Harvey thing, right? Because A-Train has already reported that info to them. Butcher shows up. He's all sick. Every time we see him, he's like at death's door at this point. Where you been? I've been shitting a kidney. I don't know why I did a bastardized Sean Connery. That's my Butcher now.
Shitting a kidney.
Kiki.
Took me a long time to push it out.
And Kessler's standing there with Butcher. He tells them about Samir against Kessler's wishes, which is just his other side of his personality. Hey, I've been working on a virus that'll kill all of you, or at least you two. My bad.
My bad. I also cut off Samir's leg. Yes, that was me.
That's also my B. Let's get over it. Okay. That's why I'm telling you guys, I'm really apologetic about it. I did love it. It seemed like this window and light shining of the old Butcher, the old Carl Urban character we know and love. When when Hughie asks a question, he goes, that is a question both insightful and germane. You know, I was like, I don't know why the way that's all put together.
Insightful and germane.
I fuck with it.
That's good.
And then he's like, to answer that question, Frenchie, I abracadabraed out of prison.
Boo.
I know. Like, why even put him in there?
Boo.
Deus Ex Mallory.
Well, and I just was like, Frenchie made such a big deal about Kimiko not visiting him. He obviously wanted to have this isolation in jail. And it's like, Butcher walks in and immediately, like, you're telling me Frenchie didn't fight to stay in there?
I don't think that's I don't think he really had a choice. Like, you got a picture of Frenchie sitting in prison. The guard comes, says, whatever his real name is,
Get out.
Sure.
come here. And then all of a sudden he's got his shit in his hands and he's in like the hallway. He's like, what's going on right now? Butcher's waiting outside.
I guess.
Mon ami, no, or whatever he said, probably.
I'd rather fuck fishing lures and be free.
Butcher.
I'd rather have sex with fishing lures with the hooks.
I love how he says that. And I forget,
I think it's Hughie.
It's Hughie. He's like,
okay.
Okay.
That is a weird analogy to just pull up out of nowhere. I think it would have been neat. Though I like to imagine that Frenchie, in his guilt, he did all this and he's sitting in prison and like 2 days goes by and he's like, this sucks.
I have made a terrible mistake.
Motherfucker.
I am not that bad of a guy.
They only give me lukewarm water.
Instant coffee. I'm terrible at French and
They
English.
give me still bread. Not a French baguette.
No baguette.
No. Mon ami.
I bet he can whip up a mean French dinner in there.
Oh, for sure.
Like some bathtub
I
gin.
made the toilet French onion soup.
Yeah, toilet. French onion dip. French fries. I made a fryer. I started a revolution. That's what we do.
We beheaded the guy across the cell. He told me to eat cake, and I took it off his head.
I know the precise time we should all shit to make it to the warden's office. Get out of here, dude.
And go.
Anyway.
We're going to eat it this time.
But he thinks with Frenchie's help, who's now just like a chemist of the highest order, he can help make the virus that will kill the vice president. And that's still not Homelander, but it's better than nothing, right? Mm-hmm. And Kimiko is so hurt that Frenchie, didn't even want to see her. Yeah. She's not even talking to him. She storms out, right?
Poor Kimiko.
Ryan goes to at Homelander's house, has a giant Christmas tree filled with Christmas gifts, and one of which is says that it's from Don T. Be a Cunt, which is don't be a cunt. So he knows immediately that's from Butcher. And it's a photo of Butcher, Becca, and their dog Terror. Ryan's like, no.
Oh.
I never even met that dog, but I saw the cookie
cute.
jar.
That was cute.
We didn't have it in the budget
Why
for the
did they
dog.
pose with Butcher's cookie jar? They must have loved that cookie jar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What's Terror up to? Why don't they bring Terror back?
They don't have the budget, man.
They don't have. It's like Ghost from season 8.
Yeah, I mean, dogs
of Game of Thrones. They don't have the budget for the dog.
Animals are hard to work with, man. What was that famous director that said his advice was no kids, no animals?
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough.
Yeah,
Spielberg's like, fuck it. I'm doing both all the time.
All of it. Don't shoot on the water. I'll fucking do it.
Amateurs. MM says that he's not going with them on the mission. He's putting Butcher back in charge. I passed out on a mission. Can't have that. So
I'll put this guy back in charge.
the guy who's literally going to die at any moment.
We've fired several times at this point. He's abducted a dude and cut off his leg. He's accidentally
Not
created
even
a global
all of that,
pandemic.
but just by MM's actual logic, Butcher passes out way more.
Yeah.
Well, so
that's true. Yeah.
why hasn't there been a talk to put Annie in charge or
Annie,
someone else?
Hughie, fucking Kimiko.
First
Literally.
off, Annie's a woman. Hughie's a pussy. So I'm with them on that. That's why.
Interesting.
God,
She's
I
too
passed
emotional, Madison.
passed out on a mission
Especially when
once.
she's on her period. Like, how
God,
can she
can you
function?
imagine?
Ugh.
Passed out on a mission once.
It's like, oh, you're angry?
Dude with a brain tumor. Let's give him and put him in charge.
Yeah.
I mean, It makes sense to how our society works. I'm with it. And they should have never just taken Butcher out of charge. You know what I mean? It should have just this whole plot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about the detour. We're at the rubber band ball. We're actually finally on our way out of Indiana, I feel like.
You think so?
I'm excited about
I'm picturing
that.
us.
We're just in
that
Gary.
Scene.
Everyone that's listening from Indiana is like, I hate this metaphor.
No, they don't.
They get it.
No, they'll get it. Everyone I
They
know
get
from
it.
Indiana gets it.
They understand. I'm picturing we're like in a purgatory of like the Percy Jackson scene where they're in the casino and they've eaten the lotus cake or whatever. It's like, oh, we've been here for what feels like 30 minutes, but they've been there for like 4 days. That's what I feel like this is.
And then Medusa pops up
Yeah.
looking like
Says-
Uma Thurman.
Yep.
Isn't it Uma Thurman that plays Medusa?
And Percy Jackson?
In the movie.
I don't remember.
Somebody like that. I'm like, dang, I would look.
Fair skin, blonde woman, blue eyes.
There's only a few.
Right.
And then is getting his ex, Monique, and Janine to fly out of town as well. And I think they're going to Belize. He's trying to explain the same thing that Starlight was doing with her mother. Hey, shit's about to go down. I need you to leave. And then she kisses him and says,
kiss.
come with us.
Let's be a family.
I appreciate. Look, I don't know what I was doing with that nerd, that fascist nerd. That was a weird phase of my
he
life.
was hanging dong though.
He must have been.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Firecracker, who is reporting on her show about Cameron Coleman's demise, saying that the flu vaccine caused an aneurysm. That's what actually happened to him. A-Train goes to Ashley. She's drunk at 11 a.m. She's freaking out and scared as usual. She fired her assistant for his own safety, and she's very upset about it. And she's like, hey, A-Train, let's just go. And then she's like, no,
do it.
not as a couple. I'm just saying.
Let's go. Let's go to Florence. We could go to Florence. I spent a semester studying abroad. We could go.
I can survive
we could
in Italy.
go.
And he's like, get your shit together. He does the Rick and Morty thing.
Get your shit together, Ashley.
Put it in a backpack.
Put it in a bag. Get it together. Get your shit together.
Something like that.
That was so good.
Thank you.
You should have auditioned when all the shit went down.
I should have.
Butcher is coughing yet again, and he's with Starlight and Hughie. They're at the shooter's apartment, the Lee Harvey, whoever that is, right? Kessler's there with him saying, and I didn't understand this scene at all. Did he fuck Maeve at some point, or is that a joke?
He did.
Him and
I don't
Maeve
remember that.
had
Yeah, that was in season 3.
He cream pied her?
They had intercourse.
They had sex.
We didn't get. I
According
cannot
to
confirm.
Kessler.
I can't confirm nor deny the cream pie.
Well,
but
this is his consciousness. So now we know.
I'm pretty sure that it was. I don't remember if there was an exact scene that was dedicated to it, but I want to say they both alluded to it.
They definitely did.
This took
Yeah.
me aback. I don't recall that at all. And I would have remembered that. We made it weird. You made it weird. I'm just saying it's an event.
have remembered that.
I would have remembered that.
You put two thoroughbreds in a room together
And a cream pie.
and a cream.
Why are you making me Vinny?
I would've-
She's Vinny.
pitching butt?
Pinchy butts.
Pinch your Maeve's
Who got a
butt.
cream pie? Not on my watch. And then
Is
he,
there enough cream in that pie? I want to know. Oh, I lost you on that one, huh? Okay.
I've got to try to keep some decorum on this show.
Okay.
And okay, so he cheated on Becca while they were married. He fucked a waitress. We find that out. I quit the booze after that the next day. So anyway, this is his guilt, racking him in the alley. He's supposed to be doing things. He's not doing things. Then they get in the shooter's
What was he
apartment.
supposed to be doing?
I'm going to go around back. You guys go in the front.
Oh,
We're going to do the old Eiffel Tower on this apartment. Okay.
backseat, front seat.
I always call back door in any situation like this.
Because in
Maeve knows.
in my notes, I looked down.
The back door is where the cream pie is.
I know where the cream pie goes.
It's Jason Statham.
Goddamn megalodon. Our butchers are all over the place today.
It's a goddamn megalodon.
Daddy's home.
They call me the beekeeper. Beekeeper.
I still need to
I
see
hardly
that.
know her.
So I was taking notes and I put my head down. And so when I looked up, I remembered them outside the building talking like, we're going to go in there. And then he goes in the back. So I was like, did he just say, hold on a minute. I got to go fuck around in the back.
Let me go check this dumpster.
MM faints a lot. I'm going to go almost do the same thing in the back.
Literally.
Yeah. And talk to my imaginary friend for a little bit, right?
JDM.
They're in the shooter's apartment. Hughie finds Secret Service files, labeled Secret Service files.
In the top drawer
That's
of
where you
this
keep them. Where are you
person's
gonna
desk.
hide them?
You don't want to lose those.
No
You got to
need.
label them appropriately.
Were they redacted though?
No, they were just the map of the fairgrounds for Singers Rally.
And it looked like an 11-year-old drew the maps with little circles and stuff. I'm like, okay.
The president goes here. Then all of his fans go here. And the people who are meanie pants go here.
It's like D&D figurines, like placing it out.
Is this the VP? No, that's just your booger.
Roll for perception. Just a booger.
They hear someone in there. They hear like a knock, a jolt. So they find a woman who's all beaten and trapped in her panties in the closet. He killed my husband. And then she's got a fever, I guess. I don't know if that's going to come back later, that this shapeshifter is able to be identified by the temperature of their skin, perhaps. But she's like, yeah, it was a furnace in there. And then she slices Hughie, makes a run for it, running down the stairs, ripping off her skin as she runs.
Well, she touched a woman.
She did.
And they made it very obvious. Like they put a lot of emphasis on like her touching this woman and like there being a moment. And I just was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I thought she like transferred her consciousness into her for a second or something. I didn't know, but we got the right idea.
Yeah, we found out as
it
she
was
started.
Zendaya.
There was a transaction.
Yes, sure. No, I don't think that's the word.
Well, she got her jeans, literally. And
what did the other woman get?
And the other woman got Zendaya.
Okay. We're going to keep bringing that back to redeem ourselves. It turns out that they are a shapeshifter. Yeah. So, and it's not the first shapeshifter we've ever seen in this show. Mm-hmm. Well, we saw one that used to blow Homelander as Stillwell. Mm-hmm. That guy.
But this is a more ghastly shapeshifter.
Yeah. I got to rip the actual skin off like an Edgar suit. That's a Men in Black reference for 6 people.
Do you think when they were writing this season, they got to the point where like, oh, we can have a shapeshifter. Don't we have one? Oh, fuck.
He's dead.
We killed that one. Dang it.
Well, comparable powers galore, Hughie says he's got to go to urgent care. Don't worry, you guys go on. He's being real sus. It's obvious he's not going to go to urgent care.
Yeah, he's going to go to Popeyes.
I love this bit with
a chicken sandwich.
Popeyes.
If it's fresh.
Yeah, if they have it in stock.
Almost never. And one time, dude, I've been there so many times. And whenever they tell me they don't have it, I'm so fucking pissed.
Me too.
Hey, we're out of spicy chicken sandwiches, bud. I'm like, oh, are you? Are you out of spicy chicken? No. Okay. Are you out of bread?
2 buns.
No. Are you out of the sauce? No. Are you out of the pickles? No. Then what the fuck are you talking about, man?
You've poked a nerve.
That's how they are. It's part of the experience.
That's how I feel about the McDonald's ice cream machine always being broken.
Yeah, it's part of the experience. Yeah. It's like a treat whenever you get some.
I remember going to the McDonald's in London and the ice cream machine there was broken. Stupid.
Did you ask them if they were having a laugh?
Are you having a laugh?
Are you having a laugh with me?
You having a laugh?
What do they call ice cream in London?
Ice
cream pie.
Oh, wow.
Cream pie.
I'm going to, when I end up in a British prison for going around asking everybody for some cream pie.
I can't wait.
It's on you.
I can't wait for that letter.
I like the new fish. I hope he's in my chambers tonight. I don't know why he's Walter Frey. I don't know why you're bunking in the London prison with Walter Frey.
Norris. This
why don't you come over here and sit on my lap?
This pod's off the rails. This episode of Streaming Things is sponsored by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
Steve, there's something I need to get off my chest.
What's that, fella?
It's been weighing on me. You know that I resigned at the day job recently, right? And I've been a little scared. There's a family to worry about. There's health insurance. There's capitalism.
Sounds like a stressful time.
But we all carry around different stressors, big and small. And it feels better when you bring something to the light. We keep them bottled up. It can start to affect us negatively. And therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. In my case, it's all of the stress, the misery, the fear. But I had to come over here and share that with you, and I felt better. That's a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
Unloading all that on you and Erica and feeling better myself.
That sounds like my Friday night.
Sometimes you just need somebody to listen. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you're not vibing, that's completely fine. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/streamingthings to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/streamingthings.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You've made it to July of 2024, and it's time to give thanks to the Streaming Things super patrons for the month of July. That's right, these people are keeping the lights on every single day, along with all the other patrons that we have, but these guys get a special shout out. And let's begin with Albus Stinkpot, Dylan Dunkley, Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Parmesan, Sunshine, Ashley Hazen, Just Liz Calabria, or the Justice Lizard, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, Emily Scarano, Lil Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, Lothpum, AK Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Wendy O'Laughlin, Big Butthorn, Conrad, Jer Latanowicz, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Elpander, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Stanton Valentino, John Collins, Trisha Bueller, Sun-Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jen Robinson, Kalisha Reeves, Paula Garcia, Miranda Bren, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, Stephen the Fifth, Casey McCain, and of course, Enza. Thank you all so much for supporting Streaming Things, and let's get back to that episode.
He's printing out a boarding pass. I love this bit between MM and A-Train. And he's like, what are you, 80?
Yeah.
Which is fair, because who the fuck does that? It's some MapQuest shit, right? And A-Train's upset that he's leaving, right? Like, you don't think, because he saw Butcher and the gang at the shooter's apartment where he tipped them off to go.
Where were you?
Yeah.
You're my dude.
You think, I don't want to go to Belize and bang the local talent?
The local talent.
Drink some, whatever he said, daiquiris? And then he tells the story of the kid who saw him being a hero, saving him, MM. And he says, for once, I didn't hate myself. And that's on you, right? Like, that's some good thing that you did, And MM says, look, I get it, but the fight never fucking ends, right? I don't even see myself anymore when I look in the mirror. And it's because he shaved his beard. I don't think he knows that.
He also shaved his stash.
I know, weird.
No stash.
He's got a soul patch, though.
Soul patch, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, hey.
That hair is moving around his face, just in different configurations at all times.
I bet next episode his eyebrows will be gone.
We've all been there when you're trimming the beard a little bit, and you're like, well, I guess it's got to go now. I went too far.
I do that all the time.
Steve used to have a wicked beard.
An unkempt beard, yeah.
I liked it.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah.
Should I bring it
I
back?
have a feeling a certain somebody.
I still never saw you with your mustache. And I'm really
in person.
In person.
The mustache is not coming back. Did not like that look for me at all.
Darn it.
Hey, man.
That's okay.
There's a framed photo of me at my place of employment's office. They took that photo in like the 2 days I had a mustache, and I hate that it's framed and in the hallway, and I pass it every day. I'm like, God damn it.
I think you look dashing.
I feel like you should print off like a full beard and like tape it on the picture of yourself and see how long it takes them to notice.
I will do that. Yeah.
Please do.
That's a fun
Please
game.
do.
Sure.
And then do it on everyone else.
Or just Sharpie like a Gandalf length beard on there.
Hell yeah, I like that.
Or Dumbledore even.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me, kid laser.
Don't tempt me, kid laser.
Yeah, but A-Train tells him like, yo, man, this shit will follow you
It's
to
worldwide.
Belize. It's worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Worldwide.
That's right. Another one.
Pitbull.
We cut to Samir with one leg, handcuffed, working. Frenchie shows up. He's bringing snacks. Kimiko's like on guard. She's just like reading a fucking newspaper. Who does that anymore, right? And he says necessity is the MILF of invention because he's used to working in labs like this, basement labs with shitty stuff. And the other, Samir's like, Butcher talks to people who aren't here. You're aware of that, right? And Frenchie's like, not concerned. And then he puts on some 90s music and he says Crazy Town is garbage. And I disagree.
Yeah, he said this 90s garbage and he said, come, my baby, come, my lady, be my sugar fly, sugar baby. I'm like, what?
Who doesn't like Crazy Town?
Come on.
The French.
Every time they cut
The
back.
French.
The French.
Those frog-eating bastards.
And Samir
French.
specifies this virus is for Homelander, not Vicky, right? And Frenchie lies and says, yes, absolutely. Would never hurt the person we're definitely going to hurt.
Hui.
Homelander is on the phone telling Ryan to suck it up and do it because Ryan was calling to complain about the kids show that he was on. And Firecracker says she found the leak.
I'm at a moral crossroads here because I wonder, so if there was this puppet show where they're like talking about how your parents suck and they're Antifa and all that stuff, I don't know if I would say no to it just because I love puppets that much.
Sure.
Where do my ethics stop me from being a part of a puppet show?
I look at it like this. That puppet show is not convincing anybody with a brain. Do you know what I mean? It's not like indoctrinating anybody who's not already lost.
I also think it's crazy.
It's like when a flat Earth YouTube video convinces one of your friends. Like, he was never your friend. You know?
I also think it's crazy that show was being played at a bar. Because Butcher was watching it in the bar.
Maybe he turned it on. Want to see what Ryan was up to.
I don't think so. I don't
Like
think
he turned
Butcher,
on the puppet show and everyone else at the bar was like, come on!
He's like,
game!
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either that or soccer, or what he calls football.
Football.
In this bar, we only play, what was it
know. I
called?
feel
Like
like-
Avenue V? Yeah.
I feel like Butcher would be a rugby guy. Yeah. Or a football guy. The Americano football.
Firecracker's found the leak, who has confessed. She says, it's fucking Web Weaver. He just wanted some heroin. And he's farting webs. We don't have to talk much about the scene. It's not a good scene. And I did laugh when Homelander, because honestly, Anthony Starr, everybody knows he's a fucking phenom
so good,
when it comes to this role. But when just his face, when he's like, how does it work? When he's talking about him being an informer and he goes, oh, just the web comes out of the hole, and just the look of like, no. That's so funny.
And then he just fucking rips him in half.
Yeah. And
The poor Web Weaver's like, actually, no, wait, I lied. It's not me. It wasn't me. I just wanted heroin.
he did lie.
Yeah. I just wanted that heroin.
Firecracker's face when she's like, oh,
Her line delivery is so good when he's like, thank you, Starlight. It's like, you bet.
you bet. We cut to Frenchie, who's giving Kimiko some of the snacks that he brought. He says, I've missed you. And she's like, fuck you. You wouldn't even see me. And he tells her, no, you don't understand, even though you're like, obviously the only person who would. Like, it's so, like, none of this works for me up until it does, right? Because she says, do you know why I can't speak? And then we get into this flashback, and it's all very, it's not deftly done. It's very ham-fisted, yet it does work for me, right? In the sense of a person who has done irredeemable things, who is faced with society's telling you, just off yourself. You know what I mean? Like and yet you're alive. You have to try to do something with the life. You're not that person anymore. So how do you forgive yourself? I love that idea. You know, it's a deep, they don't explore it well, but it is a deep thought that I'm really into. And she talks about how, she murdered lots of other girls and disfigured others. And he's like, well, you didn't have a choice. She's like, yeah, I could have chosen to die rather than do that to other people. And yet at no point did I do that. So, and he says, how can we possibly forgive ourselves? And then there's this beat where, obviously she doesn't answer because she doesn't talk, but but then he says, when the virus is ready, we should set him free, no? And she's like, Butcher wouldn't like that. And that's how we know it's the right thing. But I think the answer to that question was doing good in the future is the only way to forgive ourselves, right? Which is the whole tenet of the 12 steps and what I live by. So it was like, I like this scene. I don't think it's handled well, if that makes any sense, but it still hit me because of like who I am.
I don't think it hit the emotional weight that it was hoping it would for me. Like, I can see what they were trying to do, but for me, I just was kind of like, I don't really feel the emotional weight that they're trying to portray, although I do understand what they're saying, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, yeah, be better.
Yeah, I do like the message of the scene, and in a vacuum, the scene is good. I just don't like the way we got there, and the whole conflict in general is clunky, and I don't like the premise of them not talking to each other. It's one of those things like we hate about TV shows when characters can just fucking talk, and that'll solve the problem.
I don't buy that with their relationship and what he does know about her, that he wouldn't think she would have something to offer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100%. And also the whole like, do you know why I don't talk? Oh yeah, because it's this thing that we were told a couple of seasons ago. Oh, actually, it's a completely different thing.
It's not that thing.
I that does always annoy me when writers do that. When like shows go later on in the seasons, they just like, oh, we actually just have a new reason, and it always just reeks of like we just wanted something.
Yeah.
Again, in a vacuum, good scene, great acting, but how we got there, I don't think is great.
Agreed.
And then the Deep comes home begrudgingly to Ambrosius after stabbing ass with Sage.
Think they got the bloomin' onion?
I think so. I like to think so.
Love that for them.
And he's
their DoorDash deliverer got it there on time.
Why are you quoting Lisa Vanderpump?
One of the best. I love that one.
She knows about Sage and she's giving him shit. No one will ever love you like I love you.
Sage is just using you.
No, she's not.
She says I'm a superior being.
Even though it gives her a lobotomy for her to say that. So he breaks her tank, murders her, sits outside the closet and just listens to her suffocating. And again, it's played like this slapstick humor thing.
I still love.
Why wouldn't he just like get rid of her? Like she's an octopus, you know what I mean? Like in a tank.
Well, he's also, what, 40 stories above a building? He could just throw her out the window, no?
Well, sure, there's other ways he could kill her. But I'm saying like
there's several ways you could do it.
I don't know why he jumped to murder at all. And I could have bought kicking her out of the room.
I don't know if the outburst, I think, is like he's just mad and just accidentally broke her tank, but he could have like just picked her up like, okay, I'm taking you to the exotic pet store I got you from or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
they
I
just clean the tanks there.
Like when he broke the tank, my immediate thought was like, oh, he like broke the only like way to keep her hidden. So now she will get her wish and he'll put her in the big tank. No,
opposite.
Did not happen.
She's going to listen to Tilda Swinton suffocate.
Ugh.
And in the next scene, he's like, Homelander's yapping and he's got that like shell shocked sound effect thing going on. And then he's like, yeah, I'm listening. I'll kill every fish in the ocean if you say so.
I finally have clarity now.
So, he's all the way in. He's not coming back. He's the opposite of A-Train as far as a redemption arc.
He killed his humanity, which was represented by the octopus.
Yeah, sure. And I love how Homelander's like, cool.
Okay.
Doesn't care about his loyalty at all. Yeah. And then we cut to Victoria Newman's house. The Secret Service comes in and says, hey, Vice President-elect, someone's here to see you. It's Hughie. And I actually really like this scene. Yeah. Now that I know they're dating, I'm like, it's an interesting vibe. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, interesting. Mm-hmm. Look at him. This is probably what they do in their kitchen. I feel like I'm flying on the wall.
Those are their snacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's their kitchen.
I feel like a fly on the wall right now. And he's trying to get her to pull back, right? Because he knows that she's in on the plot. She's in on the coup.
She didn't know about the camps, supposedly.
No.
She doesn't know about that.
Supposedly.
What do you think they were going to do with Tech Nine's prisons? He's going to kill the president. She's like, making an omelet or whatever, right? And then she does say, sorry about your dad. So there's some humanity in Victoria there. Mm-hmm. Then we cut to the Deep is at the...
Sup, burgers.
What do they call it?
The Flatiron building.
Flatiron. Yeah, he's at the office, the boys' office with Starlight and Butcher are there. And also the fake Black Noir, who they don't know is fake Black Noir. So that's a lot scarier to them at first because Black Noir is a lot more formidable than whoever the fuck that guy is, right?
Yeah.
And Butcher says it's Christmas, so I'll let you leave, basically as a gift. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Cumburger? And Starlight doesn't have any powers, but I guess she still has like some super strength and some ability to fight back, but no light stuff. Mm-hmm. So Starlight and the Deep fight while Butcher and Fake Noir fight. And he keeps trying to get this Gatling gun, but finally he gets a shotty taped under a desk. Then the guy's narcoleptic, so he's fucking narcoleptic. But not for long. And he keeps asking for help from Kessler.
Do the thing.
Which Starlight sees, and Kessler refuses to do the thing. But then A-Train shows up. Now, I like this scene because I like Soup's fighting. We haven't gotten much of that in this season. Mm-hmm. I also hate this scene because A-Train could destroy the two of them. And it's like how at one point the Deep like outmaneuvers A-Train. And like A-Train tries to punch him and he gets away. I'm like, how the fuck is that happening?
Right.
The Deep's like such a lame hero. He's
fully committed, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
If he's not in water, he's kind of useless.
And then MM finally gets the Gatling gun.
I love that we get a little bit of a payoff in the scene because in the last episode when Fake Noir is talking to the Deep, he says like, I can fly and you guys never let me fly. So he finally gets to fly and then like, you can fly, you can talk. Who is this guy?
Yeah, well, he can talk.
Apparently, and so I feel dumb for not noticing this, but the guy who plays the Deep is the same guy who's played the Deep the entire time. Nathan Mitchell. They've just allowed him to like...
wait, not the Deep.
Wait, no.
Or not the Deep, I'm sorry, Black Noir.
Yeah. I was like, Chase Crawford's been Deep the whole time.
Did you guys know it's been him the whole time?
I was like, I was looking at you like he had 9 heads.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
So that's the guy that's always been Black Noir, but
okay.
Yeah, but they allowed him to take the mask off last episode. Okay. He can talk now, but he's been the same. That's why he wears that outfit so well.
That's true.
That's his outfit.
You filling it out, bud. What's up? Yeah, that's cool. And then Annie sticks her hands in the gills, which is cool, and lifts the Deep up. Mm-hmm. And with I do like I believe the part where they didn't kill the Deep. Makes sense when he's like,
do you know how?
Yeah, we don't know how to kill him. We need to get the fuck out of here. But I bet Noir knows how to kill us. I'm like, okay, I buy that. I don't buy that A-Train was struggling at all. So whatever, I get it. It's fine.
What'd you think of how they got rid of Black Noir? That was the one thing that I was like,
the gun,
what,
the bullets?
What happened?
I guess that the bullets kind of hurt and he felt a little overwhelmed. So he panicked.
Or maybe he fell asleep in mid-flight.
I would like that more if they like showed him like they push him out of the building because he's getting shot and then he falls asleep and yeah. Oh, I buy that a lot more.
That's our headcanon.
I think so.
Because before I'm just like, did they just shoot him till he got hurt? Where he's like, ow,
yeah,
fall.
Guys.
It's like
not nice.
Like my daughter's only 2, and obviously she can't do much to me, and she has these rages that she thinks are funny. So terrible. Maybe she's crazy. I don't know, but. Like late at night, she'll run up to me and just start wailing on me, going, ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, stop hitting, that's not nice, gentle. And she goes, ha, 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 ha. And I'll say, stop, like, serious, and she'll go, ha, ha, stop. She thinks it's funny. Anyway.
And then she gives you the double pickles.
The point I'm getting to is that obviously I'm not threatened by a 2-year-old. And yet.
I don't know why you felt like you had to say that point.
It's not like I can just take those little punches infinitely. And that's how I feel like Noir feels about the bullets,
I get it.
That made more sense.
That was good.
This was just your long walk to let us know you're not scared of 2-year-olds. That's all that was.
I can take her ass.
I can kick her ass. I just don't want to right now.
That's how I feel about the bullets. I think it explains it.
But you should see my shins. They're bruised.
Yeah.
I can confirm
she hits
that.
me in the head. Like if I'm laying there watching TV, she'll just go, whoosh, wake up. I'm like, I'm not sleeping.
I want goldfish crackers, motherfucker.
She does go snacks.
Put on trolls.
Snacks. I love her so much. We cut to Ashley. She busts into her office.
Play Dave Matthews Chill Mix, bitch.
And then A-Train like, Alexa, please don't.
Please don't.
Laugh so hard.
Crash into me. He tries to get Ashley to leave now. Hey, let's go to Italy, right? And she says, no. And I love this scene, actually. I think that Colby Menifee is incredible in this scene. Like this whole kind of Stockholm syndrome, I'll never be free of the stress no matter where I go kind of vibe. I don't know how you read it, but it was very sad when she realized, like, I think I'm stuck. Like, I'm just doomed here. But don't forget to cut out your chip. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She wants him to be free. It worked for me. It worked for you guys?
I liked
it.
Yeah.
Butcher is at the bar with all of the boys, or at least Starlight and MM. I think Hughie's not there. And this lady comes up, takes a selfie with Starlight. Butcher asks MM if he's in. Like, are you going to Belize? Or are you staying in, bud? What's going on here? And Starlight asks about, what did you say about Kessler and Ezekiel? And he's like, nah, nothing. I just mumble shit all the time. I'm British. And then she's like, oh, that's fair. And MM calls to tell his wife that he's not coming. She's at the airport already. She's upset, but he's in on this thing. He believed A-Train. I got to handle the shit for you guys to be safe, right? We cut to Homelander, who's literally crying at the betrayal of A-Train.
His other buddy.
Not his boy.
A-Train.
And Firecracker says some racist shit.
And the one thing I like that always cracks me up about Anthony Starr's performance of Homelander is even though he's like this diabolical character that's always on the side of wrong, whenever he's with like super racist people who say super racist things, you can tell he's like not in on it because she goes like, some folks are just born uppity. And you can see him kind of like, come on.
I don't think that's it.
Because he did that with Stormfront all the time.
When she was a Nazi. Yeah.
Like it doesn't excuse his behavior, but it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's like he's just a sociopath with mommy issues, right?
Right.
But he's not racist. Everybody can die
He's
equally.
not pure evil.
Yeah.
Right.
They're looking for A-Train, but he's cut out his tracking chip and relocated his family already. So of course he has. Sage comes in. She's mad. You sent Deep and Noir after Butcher after I told you not to. And also says that she knew A-Train was the leak, right? And she's like, what, fuck that. You killed Webweaver? He was just some junkie. You guys are dumb as shit, right?
He would have said anything to get his next fix.
And Homelander's like, wait. What about A-Train? Let's go back to that. I was feeding him misinformation. He was the perfect misinformation delivery system. And now why she didn't cut Homelander in on that is her undoing. I also do, so there's a lot of stuff I just don't buy throughout this season, especially this episode. I do not buy that Homelander fires anybody,
Right.
especially the smartest person in the world, right? Like, just go be free to work against me. Arbiter of this plan that I'm now acting out is the dumbest villain choice of all time, right? What bad could happen firing the smartest person on the planet?
Well, and I
Nothing.
still don't really see like what his plan is. Like,
He doesn't have a plan. This was
Right.
all Sage.
right. So it's just kind of like, yeah, I agree. I don't really buy a lot of what's going on. I also not
Now
to-
he's got Daisy Duke
we
running
never
things.
knew Sage's full plan either. We
No.
only know the part of the plan that is getting Newman to be the president.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we always felt like she was going to betray Homelander anyway.
Yeah.
But this is just kind of a weird move on his part. Like the guy who rips people in half and lasers balls at the drop of a hat is just like, get out. You can,
Well,
I'll pay you
he-
your PTO.
he
I'll
does-
pay that.
I'll pay out your contract.
Like, it's just so random.
He does seem to have a little bit more respect for people who are superpowered.
Yeah.
So maybe
Sure.
that's why he's like, I'm done with you.
A little bit more. He sees them as, an ultimate superior being.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Maybe it's just me.
I'm just reaching.
I've just never seen him
he
fire
always
anybody.
tells Ryan like they're toys to us, like them being humans. So like maybe
But
you're
he's
right.
always been that way to everyone's below him. Think about the Daredevil guy that he just clapped his ears just because he didn't, just because she didn't ask him before hiring him. Like, and now, you know what I mean? It just seems out of character that he'd be like,
Or maybe he's in on it. I don't know.
Maybe she was also having some bloomin' onion time with Homelander. We don't know.
yeah, he's not interested in normal sex.
Bloomin' onions?
Yeah. Bloomin' onions.
He is a
specifically.
monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
And-
drops a Queen Maeve journal on the way out.
I know.
Yeah.
I was kind of
Interesting.
wondering about that.
And maybe there's like her plan was in there, the notes, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
What she wants him to carry out. But there is one person you'll never, ever defeat, which I'm assuming is him, yourself. Kind of thing. Deep and Noir are injured from the fight in the hallway. Bro. They're communicating with bros. And then Sage sees them, tells them Homelander fired her. And we find out she's been fucking Noir as well, but without the lobotomy, which is hilarious.
Well, you can't go. I love you. You've been lobotomizing her?
What? So she can fuck him with her full brain capacity. And it's even more offensive to the Deep. Samir says that the virus is done and they're about to go grab it and free him, the dumb bastard. And he stabs Kimiko with it.
You're never going to catch me.
I was probably going to shut the pod down if Kimiko died.
Oh yeah.
How worried were you in the moment?
I was like, they need to do something crazy. And if that's what it is, I'm out. Pod done. But no, he just has to cut her leg off, which makes sense. That's terrible too, though. She's been through worse.
I guess. Will it grow back?
Yeah.
Like a baby hand?
Yeah.
Like the baby hand?
The baby
Like
hand.
Deadpool, the little fingers.
So she's gonna be like wobbling.
I think she's already good by the time we see her.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like it's a quick process.
It's a
And,
quickie.
and another 90s bop is playing in the scene too. Steal My Sunshine by Len.
True.
Good one.
True. It's no crazy town, but it's all right. Then they have her leg on ice and it's still got the virus in it. So they're going to use that to recreate it. It might be strong enough to kill Newman is all that they say. Definitely still not Homelander. And everybody's down. It's a weird scene. Except MM. He's back to his old role as
Why
the
all the
hype
grim
man.
faces, motherfuckers?
We've had less than this. Let's do this. And Butcher's like, that's my guy.
Fucking diabolical.
Diabolical. Ryan is listening to his dad's voicemail, just suck it up and do it. And he's pissed off about that, you can tell. And we get more of that stupid puppet song.
More puppets too. It's the same song, but
More
now there's more
puppets.
puppets.
Almost all of the 7 are in this one now. Butcher is at the bar again, this time with only Kessler, so alone. And they are watching Sesame Street at this bar, which is a little weird.
A little bizarre.
JDM tells him the silent treatment goes both ways. That's why he didn't help him out earlier.
That's right. You don't get my tentacle stuff. Wait. Ryan says to stop again, this time live on TV. Keep recording, though. Ashley's terrified. And he's like, hey, none of this is cool, guys. I've been thinking about my mom a lot. And
Viewers are like,
what?
okay.
She loved Christmas. She loved her husband, Billy. She loved that cookie jar that looked like a dog.
All those things. You know what she didn't love? Puppets.
Antifa. Well,
Yeah. And then he storms off set before he gives them the whole truth. But Butcher's like, see, told you. That's why I believed in him. Wanker. is what he tells to Kessler. And then he collapses and everybody's like, oh my God, call 911. Do you think he's going to like tentacle kill everybody at the bar?
I hope so.
That'd be dang, Madison coming in hot.
That's what I feel like they set up because Kessler's all like, I'm in charge now. I'm looking at
everybody in this bar.
Yeah, or something.
I like the idea of like the boys, in addition to trying to stop the murder of, or to stop the murder of the president-elect, is also dealing with like Butcher being batshit crazy. I like that idea. So, yeah, kill everyone in the bar.
Do it.
Do it. Do it, Butcher.
No, do it.
Just do it.
Come on.
Do it. Just kill them.
Do it.
Do it.
We cut to Hughie at home. And did you guys call this? Is this easy town for you guys?
I suspected.
As soon as she came in the suit and took her panties off, I was like, okay, that is not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is way too cool. That is not real.
I think in my notes, I'm like, Annie is back in the suit. I have a suspicion that this isn't Annie. Is this the shapeshifter?
I have a suspicion.
There you go.
I have a suspicion.
I like how your notes were so thorough. Like, I kind of thought, here, let me read. I was very suspicious of the. So, yes.
Yes.
Steve, were you dumb?
I was dumb.
Didn't
Really?
you were like, oh, shocker?
I was just kind of like, oh, interesting. This is how they get Annie to start being dressing up like a superhero again. Interesting choice, but whatever. And
She's
wish-
just horny.
I wish this was Annie, not the
Can I tell you?
role play stuff, but just like, can we have a little bit of fun in the gang again this season?
Sure.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The moment, strangely enough, the moment that I thought something was up, weirdly, was when she woke up and just started walking. Not even got to the safe yet. It's just when she like looked at him after.
Oh
the
yeah, that
court.
was like,
I was like,
super sus.
This is weird. And then she went towards the safe and I was like, oh, could it be?
It's his
It
laptop, right? It's
is.
just his laptop, isn't it?
Yeah, but he put all the files on there.
Oh, the VP elect
The
files.
top secret CIA files
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they stole.
Should have put it in a separate hard drive. Should have backed it up.
I
Should have
just
put it
had
in
a
the cloud.
potential thought of what could happen.
Potential thought,
Well, since
or
Annie,
a thought of what could potentially happen.
a thought of what could potentially happen since the shapeshifter
Planes?
touched Hughie. Maybe Hughie is like the person that attempts to kill the
Oh,
president.
she's gonna rip the Annie skin off and be Hughie. I
Yeah.
bet.
Maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know. We'll see.
Interesting.
I like that. She definitely touched him.
I definitely did.
More ways than one.
I wonder what the is there any original version to this? Since their power is ripping off skin, is there no
original
more
person?
original person? Yeah,
I don't know.
Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
But then how are they like, what did they look like when they were born?
I imagine they had an original person, but I think that one's just gone.
Probably.
And how'd they figure their power out? Like, hey, I accidentally ripped off my skin.
and found another.
I had a
there.
skin tag, and I know you're not supposed to pull them, but I
Can
did.
you imagine,
and it
though,
all
like-
came off.
You could get a tattoo and then you could just rip that shit off.
Yeah,
Wow.
you could impress people all the time, or freak them out, depending on how they are about
You
that
would
stuff.
be great at Halloween parties.
For sure.
Yeah, and I wonder if it hurts. What are the
That'd be a
logistics
good
here?
Two-Face costume.
But yeah, she's like, hey, I know you always wanted to bang me in my suit. And he's like, I did.
You're right.
And then they do that. She gets in the safe, steals it. It is the shapeshifter.
I love the cut when they're like in mid coitus and there's sounds of passion and then just like in the middle of like it like smash cuts to him snoring. That was kind of funny.
I thought at first it was like, oh, is he dreaming? Is this a fantasy?
That's
the way that it's smash
yeah.
cut, you know, which I
that.
wouldn't blame him. It was one of the worst sex scenes I've ever seen. Can we say that?
It was kind of, yeah.
Not sexy at all. Was not believable. It was like Meg Ryan when Harry met
Careful.
Sally.
Oh,
Meg Ryan. Oh, that's his mom too. That's wild.
what?
That's Hughie's mom.
Yeah.
Meg Ryan when Harry met Sally, like level, like obviously not having sex vibes from Aaron Moriarty in that scene. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Which is real. I mean, it makes sense because it's not her, but it's not Starlight. I don't know. I just was like, interesting.
Because it's not actually Starlight. It's like whoever that shapeshifter is like yelling out the things they like to yell.
Like, I feel like
and
that
Hughie's
person-
like weirded out
Yeah.
by it. It's like, Zendaya.
I feel like that person was born a man and was doing their best. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Deep in my vagine, which is where I like things.
It's so large.
Maybe.
Who is like, yeah?
Oh.
Oh.
I'm gonna go listen to Chapel Roan after this. Isn't that what I do?
Hughie's like, yeah.
I guess.
You do. Anyway, that's how I felt about that. But anyway, yeah. We find out that Starlight, the real Starlight, is handcuffed in some basement with like fucking torn skin all around her.
Well, it was the woman that had taken a
The selfie
selfie
lady.
with Annie at the bar was the shapeshifter and captured Annie, put her in the basement of this nasty home, I guess.
In
I don't know.
the place where they film Saw movies.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't kill her because that would ruin the show.
Well, I wonder if it's a thing where like the shapeshifter like
Needs the original.
to like keep the facade
Or,
longer.
I mean, if the shapeshifter is working for Sage, I mean, maybe Sage needs Annie for something.
True. Yeah.
So,
We both trued at the same time. True dat.
jinx.
Maybe they need Annie to be like, Starlighters, we know the coup sucks, but isn't Newman great? Come to our side. I'm the real Annie.
Political. I like
Maybe.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Annie Oakley.
She'll probably just get out somehow and that'll be
I hope she learns how to, whatever she does again soon.
to flashlight.
Now you can see. Anyway, that's the end of episode 7. We're into the finale now. Next time we talk, it'll be the finale of season 4, believe it or not.
Doesn't feel like it.
Does not. Which brings us to our diabolical moments, our top 3 favorite moments of episode 7. Madison, what do you got for number 3?
My number 3 is the shapeshifter chase. I like a good shapeshifter. I thought it was a good combination of action and gross with her ripping the skin off and us figuring out, oh shit, like this person is shapeshifting into another person. So.
Hughie slips on one.
Ew. Ewy.
I thought it was good. Number 3.
Steve.
My number 3 is Ashley staying behind when A-Train tries to be like, come on, Ashley, let's go. And she just is, either too scared, too worried about what's going to happen to her, and she just can't do it. It was a surprisingly touching scene for a character that, like, I don't really... Historically, I'm not a huge, like, Ashley stan, but I was like, oh, Ashley, go, girl. What are you doing? You can go to Florence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that is my number 3.
Do you remember the picture? Sorry, kid. Do you remember the picture
Of her with the chase shirt?
And then she has like major armpit hair now.
She does, yeah.
I'm like, get it, girl.
She's in Florence.
In Florence.
Italy. That's where Florence is. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Actually, it's just 10 minutes up
Florence,
the road.
Kentucky.
Oh, that's where she wants. I spent a semester abroad in Kentucky.
That's where the Florence Y'all Tower is.
Yeah, with the tower. There was just a shooting
With the
there.
Florence Y'all's baseball team.
Yeah. That's my number 3 as well, as the scene with Ashley. I think that I never gave enough credit, I don't think, throughout any of our coverage to Colby Menifee, who's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really feel for her. She just wanted a good job. She wanted, she got a little addicted to the power maybe, but she's never been super okay with any of the maniacal things. She's just trying to
Survive.
self-preservation. Right. And now she just feels stuck. Like she has this opportunity and she's like, I won't enjoy it. I don't have any joy in life left. I like to pee on people and stuff now. It's how I feel alive.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Ricker's going to clip that. Make me seem weird. But that's my number 3. Madison, you're number 2.
My number 2 is A-Train getting emotional with MM when he tells MM, hey, the first time that I didn't feel like a piece of shit and I actually felt like a superhero was, with you did that. Yeah, it was just a good scene between the two of them.
Agreed. Steve?
That's my number 2 as well.
Sick.
I love these 2 characters. I love Jesse T. Usher as A-Train is always awesome. I'm really excited for that character trajectory, and then seeing the 2 of them sort of like, hit A-Train opening up to MM saying like, me saving you is the best thing that's ever happened. Like, I don't know. It was just really cool that, this whole time MM's trying to like get A-Train on the side of good, and now the tables have turnned.
Turntables have turned.
A-Train's trying to get him back into the fold. It was a nice little flippity-doo.
Yeah, wish we got more scenes with those 2. Mm-hmm. My number 2 is Kimiko and Frenchie. Again, as clunky as it is, I do love the message, and I know the struggle. I've never like murdered anybody, but like, I get being at that like, well,
Definitely not a 2-year-old.
what's done is
You're
done.
scared of those.
She's got hands, man. Wait till you see it.
She's like, Daddy, come get these hands.
I'll just say she would fuck you up.
It's like V in Arcane with the big.
And she's laughing, and that makes it worse.
Actually, that is kind of terrifying.
Like, what is funny? Daddy says no. Sure he does.
Next time she like does that, you should like really be dramatic and like grab your leg and be like, oh, fall down.
It's not worth it because she's too cute. I've tried that. She goes, oh, are you okay? Are you okay? Sorry. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. It's not worth it.
She's over flinching.
You just got to let her tire herself out. Just,
Fair.
like Muhammad Ali, just rope-a-dope. But yeah, that's my number 2 is the Kimiko and Fran. None of it worked. I hated that whole thread. Yet the message is good. Like these two people have been through so much. They've caused so much harm. How do they move forward? They can't really, other than to just do the best they can. So I just think it's a fascinating philosophical quandary. If you've murdered 20 people, most of whom were innocent, and yet are trying to live some sort of existence with a little bit of joy. Is that even fair? What do you do? Just jump off a bridge? What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do?
I think it's interesting. So I think it was cool. That's my number 2. Madison, your favorite moment?
My favorite moment, I think mainly because I just was like, oh, okay, this is different. Was when Ryan like looked into the camera and, was like, guys, we need to stop or whatever. And had that moment with like Near telling the truth and kind of almost outing Homelander. And I thought it was a good redemption for Ryan, and it gave Butcher something to fight for. Yeah. So that's my favorite moment.
Steve.
My favorite moment was just the
Puppets.
No, it actually wasn't. It's the Deep and Noir attacking the Flatiron building. Just because it's one of those things where it's like, finally, it's so wild that this whole season they're not just like, hey, go after the boys. Yeah, let's go kill the boys.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone go beat up the boys. Will someone rid me of these meddlesome boys? And it finally happens, and it was...
now, they sent their worst heroes.
They did.
Well, they could have sent Firecracker. That would have been a complete dud. What did she even do?
She just snaps her fingers and a little spark happens. I really don't know. But it's funny because the Deep is... he's so dumb. And it was a nice little callback, like getting him and Annie in a room together, and just he's like the whole journey he went on a couple seasons ago of like fake apologizing to her and fake trying to.
I do not respect your truth.
And that little bit was kind of like, okay, this is probably the best writing for that character thus far this episode because everything else is kind of wild.
Want a fresca?
And then the fake Black Noir just like finally getting to fly, and he's talking, and everyone's like, what? He's narcoleptic now? Like that humor did hit, and I don't know. It was just good to see Annie beat the shit out of the Deep. So
it was good.
Selfishly, I like watching the Deep get beat up.
Oh, for sure. But my favorite moment is your guys' number 2, the moment between MM and A-Train. I need so much more of those two actors interacting.
What? It was there. Even better.
You're like Kobe Menifee. when Homelander's like, suck his dick, and she's like,
Oh, I forgot about that scene. That's so good.
Just her face like, oh, yes. Yeah, that's Madison. Yeah, I think everything you guys said about it, the dynamic flipping and A-Train's whole, like I talked about last week, how much I cried at that moment for A-Train. I think if there's any huge shining light, shouldn't say shining light, to be burning bright in this season, it's what's happening with A-Train. Yes. I want to keep the metaphor going.
I liked it. It's good. I'm glad you put a spotlight on that.
Really brought it to light.
Ooh. Yeah. Compound VIP. That's our favorite performance of the episode. Madison, who are you going to nominate?
I don't know. I went back and forth between these two. I don't think I've nominated either one of them before. Can I have a tie?
Nope.
Why not?
It's all of,
Okay, fine.
Did the Olympics give 2 gold medals?
They have before.
In the same category? Really?
Yes, they have. There were
Google
2.
it.
There were, I swear it's happened.
There's a bad example then.
Well,
Does the NBA give 2 championships?
Do what?
The Super Bowls give 2 rings?
Well, anyway, I'm going to give it to Jesse T. Usher, who plays A-Train. I think he did a really good job. I think he's been building up to deserve this. However, I'm a little I've also been wanting to give it to Colby Menifee because I have not given it to her yet. And I'm nervous that we won't have much time with either one of these characters. I don't know.
You're sensing a death? I
think so. But I would like to acknowledge both of them. But for this episode, I choose Jesse T. Usher as the winner.
You can give it to both.
Okay.
I'm nobody.
Oh, well, now rules don't mean anything now.
Steve's gonna riot.
Steve is the frequent cheater at this round.
What? No, I'm
Actually, I'm gonna give it to everybody because everybody did a good job.
I'm gonna pull an Andy and give it to the special effects.
I appreciated that, actually. They don't get much.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you said that.
They don't even have a union.
Because I was gonna give it to either Jesse T. Usher or Colby Menifee.
That is the choice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the game.
I'm gonna give it to both of them now because we can.
What?
Fuck yeah! Look what you've done. Look what you've started.
What you made me
this.
do. What you made me do. I'm gonna give it to Colby Menifee because I am an adult and I can choose.
Wow. Okay.
And I think I gave it to Jesse T. Usher last time.
Okay.
Deservedly so. But yeah, Colby Menifee has never gotten enough props from me, in my opinion. And I'm realizing this now. Phenomenal job.
Very good.
There you go. But yeah, it struck me out of nowhere in this. Like, that scene was powerful. She's like,
Yeah, she's always been great, but like, yeah, this was just so heartbreaking for that character. Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like she, in every scene she's in, she just carries the scene, but she's not in a lot because she's a side character, but she's great. And she's left-handed, which I always identify
okay.
for characters. Sorry, that was so random.
few people know Southpaw is Madison's favorite movie. Either that or My Left Foot.
Yep.
Always
Or
the better than the
Zoolander.
right one.
It's the whole bit about how he can't turn left.
It is because
Fascinating.
I am left-handed, and I always, whenever I see a left-handed actor, actress, I have a long list of those actors in my notes tab.
Just
in
left-handed people.
Left-handed actors and actresses.
What are some of the big names?
She's making a list.
You don't need to consult it. Like, you've got some of them memorized, right?
Jennifer Lawrence
Okay.
is
A lefty.
No, I do need to consult it.
She's making a list. She's checking it twice.
The left-handed Santa Claus.
You can cut this bit out of
She's
me.
going to find out
Go
who's
on.
lefty or right.
Jennifer Lawrence, Seth Rogen, Caleb McLaughlin
From Stranger Things?
Gatton
Oh, two of them.
Yep. Henry Thomas, E.T.,
Heck yeah.
Tim Allen.
Anybody from Ghost Ship?
Fuck off. Sophie Nélisse from Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt. Actually, maybe not.
Not unconfirmed.
There's a question mark near her name.
We don't want to hear from Emily Blunt's lawyers.
Yeah, I have. It's a pretty lengthy list.
Yeah.
But
I love that
Colby
for you.
Menifee is on there.
Bunch of lefties. Mm-hmm. Good research, you know? Gotta find your people.
It's just a very niche list that I have on my phone.
I love that.
I love it.
Notes app is where all the real shit is.
Oh yeah.
But that brings us to the end of our coverage of The Boys episode 7. Tune in next Friday for the finale. That'll be the end of our The Boys coverage for some time now. Probably be Gen V.
Goodness.
Next time we get into this universe, it'll probably be Gen V 2, I'd imagine. But any hoozle, that's all the time we've got for right now. We've got to go return some videotapes. My name is Kit.
My name's Madison.
And I'm Steve.
And this was Streaming Things, streaming The Boys.
Happy streaming.